What's up, wrestling fans? We are back again, and the unthinkable has happened. TNA is back. It was announced after Bound for Glory. TNA, the name, is back. It's going to be called TNA Impact Wrestling, the TV show, but everything's going to be branded TNA. We'll get into how we talked about this. We actually had a podcast, a whole section on quote unquote needs more TNA because we thought it was just getting too boring. And, if you're not going to have great storylines, and throw in a bunch of crazy shit like TNA used to have, and that's what they're going to be doing with the gimmick matches and all that stuff. The storylines will continue, so it's not going to be a total reboot. And, okay, this is Discuss Impact. I am here with the Horror King. And damn it, I lost your Halloween sound that I had ready because this is our second time recording after failing the first time. Gary had a hell of a weekend after his, hell of a week coming up. Halloween, TNA, and the Eagles win again.
That's did your G-Men, Jay.
Yeah, which I believe is going to lead to a controversy, and anyone could read about that on alldistractions.com. Sorry. alldistractions.com. Check it out. It's still a work in progress, but yeah, this is kind of crazy. TNA is back, and well, first I have to brag a little because we talked about this many times. We've been talking about this for months, how ratings have been shit. Ratings have been absolute garbage. 0.001. Literally never been 0.01 or whatever, 001, whatever. They were at 0.003 for like years usually. I think that was their average. And now at the end of this year, they've been stuck there. I think it's been for months. Sometimes I think they got to a 0.3 like a month ago or something, but whatever. I hate pointing out anyone or naming anyone, but there was a Gerard from Body Slam who I talk to sometimes, but not anymore because we were kind of arguing, and he's always arguing with me about like how I was wrong about all my doom and gloom in terms of talking ratings and stuff. But he ended up talking. I don't think he honestly knew the difference between viewership and ratings. So whatever, man. Like, we're talking ratings. I just want to really focus on that ratings. And I don't know if, and to be fair, I think most people are confused because Dave Meltzer, the fucking IWC king, changes which one is more important based on his narrative. Which I love when people say I'm pushing a narrative, because I'm not a goddamn narrative man. I'm usually stoned all the time. I'm just talking whatever's literally on the top of my head. But all right, Gary, quick thoughts. TNA.
Oh, with it returning, I see a lot of positives, but there are a few negatives along with it because, like, is it going to be, on the level of probably the original? I'm going to say probably not, because that fan base is, gone pretty much. And I think AEW is the best thing going. But I do think
Whoa. Did you just say AEW is better than Impact?
No, I said they think that it's the new, it's the new, like, the old TNA in a lot of ways. Like, it's the new shiny toy. And like now, at least with this rebranding, it has an identity again.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing we've been saying. They have no fucking identity.
Yeah, and to top it all off, one huge positive we had this time around versus last time is we weren't stuck in it. We're not going to be stuck in that old Orlando Impact zone.
Yeah.
We can take that on the road, and we can get that TNA name out there a lot better this time around. So,
there's a lot of. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm really stoked about it, but then there's a part of me that's kind of being a little bit skeptical about it at the same time. I don't know how you feel about it, Jay.
Well, I'm big on Google searches. Like, it's kind of, or I think it's my thing. I guess we'll see when this new website. But if you Google Impact Wrestling, you know the part where it says people also ask? The second question is TNA still a thing? And then why did TNA change their name to Impact Wrestling? And then what did Impact Wrestling used to be called? Not like, where can I watch Impact? What is Impact? It's everyone asking about TNA. And if you Google TNA wrestling, like you find nothing but TNA. And also, if you Google TNA wrestling, like obviously you're gonna find a shitload of TNA. But if you just Google the word TNA, that's all you need. But if you Google the word Impact, you ain't gonna get shit. You know what I mean? Just because it's a regular word.
Yeah, and the same can be said with the logos too. If you go into the images, like on Google, you see a hell of a lot more TNA.
And
going
those
on.
are and those things, that counts for like Google, like searches, like just having more TNA pictures in the world. But whatever, I don't get too nerdy and boring. So I think it's great overall. I mean, we're not going to have the talent that they had, obviously, but I don't know what kind of talent did they have in the beginning of TNA? But I don't. We can't really say this in the beginning because they're coming off of. They're not changing anything. It's the same roster, which is not too strong at the moment. And my question is, would fans have rather this, or they just spend all that money on talent instead?
Yeah, it's a good.
And I'll ask you.
Yeah, I do think talent is majorly important, but I mean, I think once we get that TNA, that symbolism back on TV, I think it can make loads difference for the presentation, just because we were commenting before we went to air that the TNA logo sticks out way more than Impact. Impact Wrestling. It's just, and I always thought the new Impact Wrestling logo was kind of, I don't know, felt like it was very minor league versus the TNA logo. I mean, I used to love that logo so much. I literally turned my HD TV into a little Impact Zone with it. I had these little cutouts and stuff.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah. And I had lighting and everything. I had this, I don't know, just always loved watching it that way. And TNA it just sounds so much better. It kind of takes me back to the monthly pay, because we're kind of transitioning into that again, because we do have the monthly specials. Under the Impact Wrestling, all we had was the one night onlys, and those were pretty much, there was a few good ideas in there, like Joker's Wild and some other ones, but per se, they were pretty boring. And at least under Anthem, at least we have the monthly live specials, and that I wanted those back for the longest time. So I mean, I'm thankful for that. So
yeah, I'm pretty happy about everything. I just want to kind of point out that we nailed this. Maybe not 100%. I mean, I talked about Scott leaving, and I still think if you're going to do something like this, you have to bring someone new in. Again, or bring in new people to help him. If Scott's going to be there, that's fine. Bring in new people. Bring back old people from TNA. It can't be the same uncreative minds. Other than, hey, let's do a reverse battle royal and shit, which I'm totally good with. I love fucking gimmicks. I've been calling these for so long, and people have been saying the opposite. Oh, no, wrestling doesn't need fucking gimmicks anymore. You're old and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, all right, look at fucking Dynamite. They have a gimmick almost every friggin' show. Tony's not an idiot. I'm sure he knows that shit draws. Even a stupid battle royal, you know what I mean? Casual fan. If you're a casual fan, you don't need to know shit other than there's a bunch of guys in the ring and the winner throws the guy out. But whatever. I love all that shit.
But to be fair, too, we do have a number of pieces already set in place with the old TNA days with Frankie Kazarian.
They could do a TNA Originals versus
and so on. Chris Sabin, Alex Shelly.
Is Eric Young original? Well, close enough.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, just really quick. Billy Corgan was on the Kurt Angle show. Some interesting stuff. Talked about when Paul Heyman offered him to invest in ECW. Talked a lot about the TNA stuff, what went down with him and all. So check that out. And I think we don't really have much else on the TNA name, so we're just going to get to Bound for Glory, I think.
Oh, yeah, sounds good, Jay.
I mean, unless you have anything else on the TNA name, but... Oh, sorry, no, they're selling shirts already.
Well, I guess it's all of 82 days away for the changeover, so maybe they're just trying to get all marketed out there, get people prepared.
I'm sure you've seen the shirt.
Oh yeah, I did see the look.
Okay, first of all, is this just an old reprinted shirt with a stamped "We're back" on it? Because I mean, that'd be genius.
I'm not sure,
Can you
Jay.
tell?
It
Like,
does kind
I
of
don't remember that yellow. Do you remember that yellow being there?
not like that. It
Yeah,
feels like they kind of give it a
a little bit of
mild
it.
update, like
Yeah,
maybe like a hybrided version of the old
yeah.
Impact TNA.
I would honestly, I'd buy that shirt in a second. I don't like the "We're back" though,
No,
because
no, I
like,
don't.
and that'll
I
kind of
don't
go
either.
like it'll kind of go away soon. You know what I mean? Like,
But
I just want TNA wrestling. It's a cool shirt. You don't need "We're back," but whatever.
I do have a little bit to add to it though. Apparently the TNA name is going to be returning at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view on January 13th, 2024, and it's going to be from the Palms Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. I sent you a picture.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
very cool.
looked like a pretty
My
cool
only
video.
question is, well, no, because they're not. They did say they're gonna. PWI said they were gonna continue with these storylines. I was gonna say, my only question is, are they gonna? Um, it's like, how different is it gonna be? Like, I don't know. How are you gonna continue the storylines when it's like you're
Yeah.
changing the name of the? That's kind of weird. It's like changing the name of the promotion, but
Well,
I
I
don't know.
felt like going into this paper, or coming more like coming out of this pay per view. I know people said many times this year that it feels like Impact is kind of like being reborn again, and I look back at it now and I'm like, I don't feel like it was back then. Like it felt at Bound for Glory. It felt like day one is right around the corner, like all over again. Like the way they built up this, like with Lou
Yeah,
being tight-lipped about everything leading to Bound for Glory.
yeah. But let me just say,
And I don't know,
sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just go ahead.
Well, everyone's talking about TNA. How many people are actually talking about the show?
Yeah, yeah,
That's a little weird.
yeah, I just don't
Or
know if somebody was mentioning if it will end up on another network at some point too. If that's what they part of the rebranding process, because I don't think you could rebrand it under on the Access channel because it's just like nobody gets it pretty much.
yeah, I mean that's another thing. That's well, yeah. I mean that's why I think again it's a desperation move, but I think it's a smart one. I mean, would you agree? It's like
Oh yeah, it's
because of the ratings were so goddamn bad, they had to do something like, or they were gonna slowly die, and this is at least their attempt to do something. So I respect that, and we've been pushing for TNA, so I think it's awesome.
well, and I do feel like Anthem is starting to spend. Like, I don't know what you thought of the venue on this night, but I thought it was like the best it has looked in a while. Like they listened to me about the lights on the far end of the arena.
Yeah,
They had, they had publicly they put all the sponsors and all the ownership of the channels and
that's what makes me think they're never gonna change channels, though. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
that's
Because
a
like
good.
they kind of flex like all the shit we have, and Axis is one of them. So unless they buy a bigger channel, I don't know. Really quick, Tony Khan has a gift for Sting this week. I'm thinking Sting takes that gift, shoves it up his ass, and pulls his shirt off, showing a TNA T-shirt, and gets the hell out of there. I mean that's never gonna happen. But how cool would that
Yeah,
be?
yeah, love the-
I mean, it could if they were, I mean, if wrestling was smart and they actually all wanted to help each other grow and shit, I mean, that would be
oh
fucking
yeah,
that would be
but
fantastic. But Tony doesn't need, I hate to say it, at this point,
well,
Impact.
well, and two, he kind of tries to buzz kill anything impacts to him positive. I heard he counter programmed the night of Bound for Glory. He had some big wrestling
Yeah.
special, and I was like, "That's a very dick
Well,
move. You're supposed to be."
Collision's on that night, but I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know. I
yeah,
don't know if it was a stacked Collision, but I think Okada was on it.
yeah,
So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Americans really give a shit about Okada, but I'm sure wrestling fans.
yeah.
And I know a bunch of wrestling fans who we did a poll and they said they were watching Collision over Bound for Glory, and we have a very Impact fan heavy group. Like it started as just an Impact fan group, but whatever. Let's get to Bound for Glory,
Yeah.
and let's start off with ratings, which I love doing because it's not us and it's others. So we have 2 411 riders this week. Cook gave it a 9.
Oh,
Cook usually doesn't do them. Hall gave it an 8. No, I'm sorry. I mean, usually He-Man Chew does these for Bound for Glory, but sometimes multiple do. So we got a 9 and an 8 from the 411 Riders, and then our friend Christian Thompson at TJRWrestling.net gave it an 8.25, which I was a little surprised about, but then I went over it, and they didn't like the ridiculously long Gauntlet, which is also my biggest problem with the show.
That was definitely the weakest point of the show. I felt like sitting there thinking that very thing, like, I was like, this is really, like, kind of not the greatest, you know? Like,
they cut a match for that.
Yeah.
Like, why so many people?
Oh, yeah, that was the Tasha Steelz and Deanna versus MK Ultra. I guess it actually was decided that was going to be a digital.
Seriously. I mean, seriously.
Match. Yeah.
And again, the fact that there's people that are making decisions like that still worry me. That those people are going to be in charge. That fucking Deanna Purrazzo and MK Ultra were not. I mean, maybe Deanna is maybe the best female wrestler in the world, that most outside of WWE, and I think like everyone would agree that technically you leave her off the goddamn show. She's also a big name, at least for Impact. You know what I mean? She's one of their biggest names.
Oh yeah.
And MK Ultra's an awesome fucking tag team that's over as shit, and all they need is more TV time, and they skipped them for what? To get Sunny Kiss on TV and Swinger and.
Yeah, I think it was a matter of like maybe last minute audible kind of thing, because like you had so much going on. You wanted the Mike Tenay and Don West induction along with
Oh yeah, good thing you mentioned that. That was awesome.
Tracy Brooks, but
Mike, how great was Tenay?
Oh yeah, well, and the thing is, you can't rush something like that. You know, I wouldn't even care if the pay-per-view would have ran another.
Oh no, yeah, totally. I mean, I would have honestly had that on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucking. I mean, it's Mike. It's Mike. It's Mike Tenay. The guy's a beast. Everyone loves him. He fucking killed it. Like, he put everyone and everything over. Like, he was just perfect. He was absolutely perfect. And I didn't know the part about how when Don died, they mentioned him on WWE and AEW.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember that.
Jesus. Respect. I
do remember the shout out back then. But my thing is like, you got to treat that right, and then like somebody had suggested, maybe not do 3 people inducting it. Maybe just focus on, like, if there's a pair, just focus on that. Or just
no, it was weird. Yeah, it was a little weird, because I mean, it was all about God, I hate to say what's her name, Tracy Brooks. I totally forgot that it was going to be that Tenay and what's her name were even there.
Well,
that Tenay was even there. You know what I mean? Like, it was like so much Tracy Brooks stuff that I was like, oh, and his.
Well, and I mean, we've lost so many Impact or TNA talents that probably you could argue that should have went in over Tracy. No knock on her.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I mean, like, every year goes by that we don't, certain talents, and then we're like, what? Like, I don't know. I would just think they would put other ones first, that like maybe passed, or, like, why not? You just lost Jimmy Rave or whatever, died not too long ago for Impact or TNA Impact. And like, I don't even think he's been even, mentioned from anybody, or Chris Candido or some of them.
Well, Jeff Jarrett wasn't invited to this thing, so whatever. Let's get to the show, which started off. There was no pre-show, which okay, I think I do like having the one pre-show match. Maybe some kind of ridiculous TNA match they can do in the future for like every pre-show. You know what I mean? Like the Backwoods fucking Battle Royal or something.
Yeah, 2 is just too many.
Maybe put the Hall of Fame on. Well, I guess it'll be on Impact Plus or TNA Plus, thanks to Richard Robles, who was ahead of the game on that one. Definitely, he said mention it's going to be TNA Plus, and it's got to be right.
But I was just looking at the running time on the Gauntlet, and it ran almost 29 minutes. So it could have went on. It could have went on the pre-show if they would have just overrun a little bit.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I mean, the only thing, I love the ending, but like, why have so many people in it? Why not just make it like an 8-person gauntlet? Make it like, you know what I mean? Like, we've had these preview matches for it. Like, it should have been cutting people down, especially if you don't have interesting fucking people in the gauntlet. We couldn't even get a Mike Jackson this year. I was waiting for the Kiss Demon.
Well, here's an idea, Jay. Why not?
We just got Sonny. Sorry.
Why not just call it the Baker's Dozen intergender call your shot gauntlet?
It's a bit much, but sure. I like it. At least it makes sense, just like TNA makes sense and Impact didn't. So starting off, Chris Sabin defeats Kenta in absolutely awesome match. Chris Sabin, goddamn. How many matches of the year has this fucking guy had?
Yeah. This has been the best I've seen Kenta thus far in Impact. So this was a really solid match that ran. I thought it was a little short. I would have liked to seen another 4 or 5 minutes. It ran for almost 11 and a half minutes.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's insane. The match times, very, very odd match times. But I mean, that match was great. I mean, look at Sabin, Jesus. Speedball. I forget the other one. He had 3. This is like his 3rd. I forget. I mean, goddamn, there's so many. Plus, how many Motor City Machine awesome tag team matches have he been in this year? Like, he might be better than ever at this point, which is insane. Like Christian, you could say he's better than ever at this point in AEW, but not in the ring. Like, this dude is better than ever in the ring at this age. It's kind of unheard of, but okay. Good win. Moving on. Thought it was a little obvious, though, that Kenta wouldn't win as a New Japan guy. Monsterz Ball. I didn't realize there was 4 people in this match, to be honest. I didn't know. I don't know. I guess I forgot about Rhino, that it was just a 3-way. Also, can I spoil something? That PCO is at the tapings? I mean, I guess that's not spoiling anything. Because he never left, so.
Yeah. Well, just that, like, coming out of the result of this match, there's a question of if he was really done because he did.
PCO wins. He got this. When did he get a big win like this? And again, how many times have we talked about this? Let this fucking guy win for once. He takes the most insane bumps, and he did it again here. He took this one bump. I forget what it was.
Well, I think if you're going to give anybody the loss here, though, you got to have PCO. Rhino, yeah, just because there's too much at play with Steve Macklin. He's kind of like has a bigger story.
Wait, Macklin took the loss?
No, well, I mean,
Moose took the loss.
Yeah, Moose got hit. But I mean, it's considered as all these other participants that isn't PCO. It goes down to loss in a sense.
And I can see them skipping. Or, I mean, I like the idea that Moose got pinned. I mean, my first thought was I hate the idea of Moose getting pinned, but that's going to lead to Moose and PCO.
Oh,
at least, I mean, I think likely that's kind of Moose. He doesn't let things go. Yeah. he's kind of a dick. So,
somebody said they think that Moose will at the tapings last night. They think that he probably got his win back from PCO because he is leaving or was reported as leaving. Unless they got some deal worked out.
I think they definitely must have. I mean, why would you put a guy over on his way out? That's just There's nothing more stupid. There's nothing more stupid than that. I'm sorry.
Unless they have a loser leaves TNA match between Moose and PCO, and I don't think that. I looked at some of the taping results, and I didn't see nothing that said that. Did you?
No, maybe they're listening to fans, and they saw a bunch of fans like, fuck this, why are you getting featured in PCO, especially when we saw what he asked for, like, better creative or money. I think it was like either or, like, Jesus Christ. You should thank him for being there. And I'm trying to read some comments from Facebook. Got Kenneth McDonald, Kenta Sabin, great match to start the show.
It was a good kickoff starter for what crowd was it again? Chicago, the Cicero Stadium bunch in Chicago. They were best I think I've seen in a while in Impact.
Oh, the crowd. Yeah, I don't think we mentioned the crowd. Also, oh God, thank you for mentioning that, because how about that white ring and just everything white?
The only thing I didn't like about it, though, the only little thing, it reminded me way too much of MLW.
Well, I thought of New Japan because I don't watch MLW, but yeah, it just didn't remind me of Impact.
Just because of the red, white, and blue going on. Yeah. That's what MLW's kind of thing is. And I don't know, just I like looking at it for a one night kind of thing. I'm not sure if I'd want that going forward because we're partial to red and all.
Yeah.
But I think back
okay.
there'd be plenty of red.
Also, a great comment from Alan Schrage, which was about something else, but he said, "Why don't they just name it NWA, TNA, GFW, Impact Wrestling, and get everything together?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
we could have. To be fair, we should have never went to the GFW ever anyway. I can't,
And I mean, I've literally yelled about this before. How nobody fucking blames Jeff Jarrett for that. He's the one that did it. Like,
yeah,
like him and Scott just don't get shit. It's amazing. Like, I don't know. And again, like, I'm mentioning Scott because he's the one at the helm when they've been getting all these .1s, when they've been averaging their lowest demo ever for like months. But whatever. Yeah, they saw that. That's why they're changing. PCO gets the win. Fun match. I don't know about Rhino, but I guess he's just it's good to have him around. I just don't really know what do you do with him.
At one point when I think PCO was backdropped onto the concrete slabs that were out there, it looked like he smashed the back of his head a little bit. I don't know if he did or not.
Who PCO?
Yeah, it looked like he.
Yeah, don't worry. He's not real. He's not a human. He really isn't a human. He's not. He took the thing. He landed on the middle of his spine on this one shot, and it's why would anyone put themselves through that? But he does for fans, and he deserves fucking everything. That dude. God, a little raise, Jesus. The man can almost die every match he's in.
I know a lot of people say they wouldn't put the belt on him, but you know what? I would.
I totally would. I'd give him a run. Jesus. I think he'd be a better champion than Shelly.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Fuck, how about that, Impact fans? I'm sorry. Shelly's boring, and I'm shocked that he won the match, and I don't like him as a champion. And is it just because he's a fucking TNA guy? Is that why? So he can be the TNA champion when he comes in because Josh wasn't. I really don't have any other reasons. He's not a main event guy to me, or I don't think a lot of people. But
I'm interested to know if they'll bring back the original world title belt from the TNA days, or if they'll reintroduce it.
That's another thing. They're spending a lot of money on this shit.
Yeah, they're going to be bringing back new belts, and I wonder if maybe Anthem's logo.
Yeah. Did they mention this is actually? They mentioned that already, right? That they are bringing back this. This isn't just you bullshitting.
No, definitely. They said they were going to be redoing the belts, and maybe I would. We're going to get something good out of this. I have a feeling.
Oh, I mean, it's already good. It's everything. Just
no, but I mean, something even better.
Yeah,
because we've been wanting a digital media title.
I kept saying give us anything interesting, and this is a whole ball of interesting, and there's you said they're spending money. And I was on Twitter like a lunatic calling these people out. I would literally call the president, and I would call out Asper and what's his name, piss or get off the pot, whatever it is. Spend money. This is ridiculous. I would point out their ratings to them. And then I get shit on by Impact fans. And now, look, everyone, you got TNA back. You're welcome. You can all write comments thanking Discuss Impact Wrestling or Discuss TNA Wrestling, whatever we figure out soon.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out.
So, Knockouts tag match. Rascals and ABC, two fucking awesome teams. I just kind of want to see them wrestling forever because I don't know who else is really good in the tag division. Also, great question by Robles. Who's the next tag? Who's the next tag contenders after these guys?
I was just gonna comment before I get into that, but what I couldn't believe the Rascals are just this high flying team, and I couldn't believe ABC was like they were distancing themselves in terms of the moves they were doing. They were going.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah, they were come.
Yeah, they're.
I think you can see the New Japan time they spent together.
Yeah,
the time they spent there compared to
yeah.
I don't think Trey ever did, or I don't know, but yeah, they look. I mean, they're similar teams, but it's the one is more flippy, and ABC is more they got everything.
We might want to mention too that ABC got the shot because they had one Feaster fired, and they got the briefcase that said tag team title match. So
that also one small downer or tiny downer for the show for me. That was the only title change, right?
Yeah. I didn't really feel like there was a lot of titles defended or something like that, because we lost the tag team one.
Oh yeah,
Which
the
was,
knockouts.
I don't know if we want to do the results of that or not in the podcast, because that's going to be.
I don't even know what it is. You know what it is?
Oh yeah, with Jordan, or not Jordan Grace, but
MK Ultra.
yeah, and
They won, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, they retained. I didn't know if you wanted to go there.
Yeah, I mean that's. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that was on the goddamn. That should be. They should post that result. I mean, how many people watch those digital matches?
Yeah.
Especially compared to a Bound for Glory show. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, this is the big dance. I mean, you
It sucks, man.
you want to put on the the best show you can, and like I said, the Gauntlet was 29.
Totally.
We could have stuck that, and like maybe stuck the.
Totally. I just think the only problem would be that afterwards, Jordan got the mic and she said she wants to, go for the knockouts, and you couldn't really do that in the pre-show.
Gotcha.
And I absolutely love Jordan versus Bully. It was short, but it was just fantastic. I mean, goddamn. I think we said this months ago. Like, they met in the ring for like 2 seconds. I think they just looked at each other, and I'm like, oh, that's it. It's coming.
Well, I don't know if you remember. I this is back. I want to say back when they did the All In show when it was part of AEW. I want to say,
yeah,
Bully and Jordan Grace, I believe, had exchanges or two, and I wasn't he in AEW. I think, like, for that.
He might have been in that big fucking
I want to say there's a bit of a history there leading
Possible.
from that.
That'd be interesting.
And I didn't know if you saw in the tapings, it's kind of like more of Bully and Jordan. So,
well, match spoiler. Bully and Jordan are teaming up. I mean, I'm not going to tell you against who or who's going to win, but Bully and Jordan are teaming up. I mean, that's super interesting.
Yeah,
like just the idea of that. There's some cool stuff in the tapings, but we're not going to do spoilers. So, where are we going? Jordan got the win. I'm sorry, did we get the? Oh no, Will Osprey. Holy shit, Osprey Bailey. I've actually given Osprey some shit. Like, man, I always hear about like this guy is like the Jesus of wrestling, and I don't really see it in what I've seen, but oh my god, he is fucking incredible. He hits so hard. He moves so fucking fast. You know what I mean? Like, he looks so real.
Yeah, I can see why they a lot of wrestling world considers him the best in all wrestling. Like I think he takes it to another level that Kenny Omega can't even go.
He reminds me of a cross between Cesaro and AJ, where he is fucking. I mean, Bailey kept up with everything. I don't think Bailey's at his level, but I mean, and I think this proved that, he didn't win the match, but this was 18 minutes. 4-1 gave it 5 stars. I'm sure other people, Meltzer will give it 5 stars because he likes Osprey.
I mean, Osprey's strong style was like another level. Like like wrestling I've never seen before. Like, I've seen Kenny Omega, but like he had this backhand blow thing to the back of the head. Like, I was like, man, how somebody doesn't get concussed from that is beyond.
Yeah, there was like 5 times where it went, oh.
Yeah,
like dropping fucking the other guy on his fucking head. Like, man,
and to his credit, like, too, like, Eddie's known for Eddie Edwards is known as the chop man, but like Osprey was getting some really good kicks in on Bailey that, like, not many people have been able to go toe to toe in the kick department with Bailey.
But that's another thing. I think he made Bailey's kicks look like bitches.
Yeah, because like
Bailey, when Bailey does those fast ass kicks, but like they look so weak.
Yeah, they don't look as strong as like
Osprey's. Looks like he can literally kick through you.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody kick that hard since Davey Richards or Pentagon.
And he did say he would like to return to TNA at some point. And I'm pretty sure he actually said the words TNA, and I think that was actually part of this whole thing, that like everyone is still reversed to his TNA.
He wants.
Remember we joked about how Okada meant he calls it TNA, and maybe all this was part of it, like them seeing this, like that everyone still fucking calls it TNA. So why not? So
I get there was a hint drop that he would be returning at Hard to Kill in January. So I guess that's part of the TNA movement. They're going to be booking Osprey, and I think he said his contract in New Japan runs out in February. So
yes,
who knows?
That is correct. Nice job there. So call your shot, Gauntlet. I'm not going to name everyone. There's a million people, but I was wrong. I called Jake something coming in at number 1 and winning. I don't know if it was announced he was number 1 before this, but he did come in number 1. And I don't know, man. This was just crazy long. The only interesting people I thought were Juventud. Swinger. I mean, not even interesting, but like the surprises were Juventud, Swinger. I mean, Jody Threat, I thought kind of came out of nowhere, and that was nice. But there was like just so many. Did Heath need to be in here? Did Jody need to be in here? Did Myers need to be in here? Did Sonny Kiss need to be in here? Like, they could have cut this in half and, like you said, put the tag match on. It would have been nobody would have noticed. It would have been much better. And
I will give a huge shout out or credit to Brian Myers in this gauntlet, though. Yeah. He got 6 eliminations. That was the highest.
Didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Did he get thrown out by Cardona?
Yeah, I can't remember that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Cardona turns on Myers and eliminates him. Yeah, that was funny. I think that also maybe. I don't know what the hell Cardona's doing. This guy talks about WWE every goddamn day, but whatever, we'll see. So then, it ended up with Bully and Jordan as the last 2. Jordan hits the Grace Driver and gets a 3 count. So, I mean, just absolutely awesome. I love seeing Jordan wrestling big dudes like that. And I gave Bully shit sometimes, but he sells the shit out of it. He made Jordan look great. He always does. And next up, the Impact World Knockouts Championship. This was short, I thought. Actually, then I looked at the time and I was surprised it was 11:50. I would have guessed like 8 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it was me. It just felt weird.
Well, I mean, I did feel encouraged after coming out of this match that with that new TNA, announcement and everything. Mickey, interestingly, was on the poster, so I guess she's not done in Impact, which I thought maybe losing this match.
Well, to be fair, that I'm not sure about that poster because Deanna's on there. Supposedly she's leaving, and Jordan is not on there. And I can't imagine didn't she just literally sign?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So that might have been a quick thing they put together and didn't really look into, but yeah, I did. I love looking into that shit, and I totally thought it was really important until Jordan wasn't there, and then I was like, maybe not. Well, yeah, this was like 11:50. Also, did you notice the Mickey doing her WrestleMania pose with the I don't know if we could say it here, but kind of like sticking her tongue out between her 2 fingers?
Yeah. She did that with what's her name? She's now back in WWE. Oh, geez, I can't think of her name. The girl I used to.
What an outfit by Mickey! While you're thinking.
Yeah, I can't think of her name, but she hasn't been on the show in so long, Jay.
Oh, that's okay. We'll stick with Mickey and Trinity. Oh, hardcore. Oh no, the other one.
Matt Cardona.
Well, here's my question: do you or any other fans get a little too distracted with certain outfits like Mickey's? I mean, also, I'd love to ask Mickey, how can that be comfortable? But also, thank you for wearing it.
My wife said not in the house when I'm doing the podcast today. I did find myself kind of checking out her ass a few times.
I mean, it's literally, it wasn't possible not to. It was just right out there for the world and whatever. So Trinity got the win again.
I'm a male.
Yeah, Trinity made Mickey tap, so she's making everyone tap. This is like a Goldberg type fucking thing. I don't think people are talking about it enough that she's making, and I think they should point it out to them when she's making everyone tap.
This kind of reminded me with the result. Kind of reminded me of that time when Kurt Angle faced Hulk Hogan, and I never thought I'd see Hulk Hogan tap even to a Kurt Angle, and this was different. And I thought
that with Deanna originally, like what when she tapped, but she's making everybody tap now. But I'll tell you who she won't make tap: Jordan.
Well, I'm just gonna say, I've seen a lot of detractors and people putting Trinity down and saying she's the next WWE product, and is she gonna be
very good?
Yeah, all in for Impact. I mean, she did a media, whatever you want to call it, media presentation for Impact, and then she went to a local like a wellness center for the wrestlers and did a seminar there. I mean, if there's any question if she loves being in Impact, I mean, see her record thus far in Impact.
Yeah, I mean, she's been great, and I bet that some of these press things are only because she's Trinity. You know what I mean? Not because it's Impact Bound. I mean, yeah, because it's Impact Bound for Glory, but they're only getting it because she's fucking Trinity and she's that fucking big.
And my thing is with her style of wrestling, I mean, she's probably one of the more high flying ones that we have. So why is she getting hate? I mean, I think
I don't get it. Yeah, I think it's just people not liking that she's from WWE or whatever. Maybe some racists out there also. I mean, I talked about it when she came in. I wasn't a huge fan, and I didn't know what she can do in the ring, and I thought they would push her too much, and I didn't think she could hang with the top knockouts, and she totally can. So, I mean, being a name, like just being a name that can hang with Deanna, like that's all you need to be champion.
But also to Mickey's credit, her being in her early 40s, to sit there and hang with a Trinity that's like probably this side of half of her age, and she can go like that. I mean, Mickey's got her conditioning has to be out of this world.
Totally. And how about that 40 whatever year old ass? Okay, on to the main event. Shelly and Alexander. This was a little long for me. 22 minutes. Could have cut a little from this, I thought.
This was not as good as I didn't think this was as good as their first encounter that they had. I think it was on a live special. I think it wasn't it shortly after Josh had beaten Christian Cage? I think Alex came into the fold or was a number one contender at some point.
I believe so. Yeah, I'm just really surprised that Shelly they're keeping him as the top guy, or at least for now, or maybe they have somebody coming in who's going to kind of kill him. I don't know. I did hear a rumor that Punk was backstage, but I couldn't verify that before time of this. So,
that's cool.
So Shelly ended up getting the win in a 22-minute, I would say, good match. If it was 15, it might have been great.
Yeah,
that's probably weird, but
where do you go with? I mean, I know Josh win them all, but like they made the point that he's only lost like 3 or 4 matches in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, what is this? 3 in a row?
And like, how are you going to make him? I know they're not trying to make him like a Goldberg, but I see him more as or Kurt Angle. I just don't think Kurt Angle would lose to an Alex Shelley. You know what I mean?
Totally agree. But I mentioned recently how Josh needs something. I just don't think Shelley was the guy to do it because, like, he's not. I don't know. I don't buy Shelley as someone who could beat Josh, but I do like the idea that I didn't want Josh just coming back and winning everything.
No,
I feel like that's how they booked Josh. So I like the fact that Josh is going to have to like deal with some shit to get to the title. Yeah. So that's cool. But once the match ended, I wrote, okay, that ended, and I was just waiting because then they started showing the video because like nothing happened, nothing. I totally thought Sabin was coming down to cash in.
Yeah,
would that have been a great ending? The two friggin'.
That definitely would have been, definitely a big creative idea. But I also too thought that Josh would lose possibly because of that middle turnbuckle. Because remember, exposed. And I thought, how many times have we seen this in wrestling where that middle gets exposed, and that's the reason why somebody wins? And I think it would have been more interesting to have Alex Shelley win because of that, and then it kind of
let him cheat.
Yeah.
I feel like that took a little fucking, I don't know, something off of Josh's armor. You know what I mean? Like he's not like super Josh anymore, and which I do like, but I just don't like that it was Shelly. You know what I mean? Like if it was PCO, I would have bought it. You know, like because he's so crazy or whatever. But whatever, I don't know. And that's just all. I think that's all because they just overbooked Josh, and we think of him that way, and it is what it is.
Well, they've been selling his tricep.
Yeah, that too. Okay, so that's.
I wonder if maybe that's going to play into something late, because I did see on the spoilers that Josh did say something about to Will Osprey that this is your year, but this is going to maybe they got bigger plans for Josh in 2024 because that you don't want him coming back in and winning everything.
Yeah, maybe he's still healing.
Yeah, maybe.
But he did have a 22-minute match, so I doubt that. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. Or maybe they were like, fuck it. We don't need to do anything tonight because we got this TNA thing at the end, which literally everyone's going to be talking about, and not this show, which I mentioned earlier, which is, I think, a little problem. Maybe, but I don't know. Maybe space out like the thing from a huge show. But there would. I was thinking like there was not much to talk about. Like it was a very good show, but there was not much to talk about after the show, I thought. Other than the TNA, if the TNA thing didn't happen, like what would we be talking about right now? You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, I know Impact never plugged a Punk appearance, and you said to not set the bar so high.
Yeah.
But I still found myself grasping for maybe
I thought there would be a Dolph.
Huh?
Who were you thinking? I thought we'd get a Dolph at least.
Oh,
Ziggler.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't have surprised me really, because like you kind of he wants a new stage, and like you'd get lost in AEW. So yeah, I mean that's very possible, but I didn't really even think about him at the time because I guess I didn't really realize he's available. Like
he was
at present time going into the pay-per-view. And
oh yeah, well to be fair, I'm not caught up on that. I was thinking about the WWE releases.
Honestly, I thought we might get an Okada showing up with Josh holding the belt. That's what I thought. That's why I thought Josh would.
But he was booked for Collision that night. Thanks, Tony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
So I mean, who knows? There might have been a bunch of plans and shit and whatever. So yeah, the end of this is good show, but it's all about TNA now, at least in my mind. Also, you said something about not wanting to get buried, and that's exactly what Eric Young said in an article today on Fightful. I talked to some friends. Tony mentioned he was interested. It never materialized. Truth is, I'm just going to get lost there in the mix of like 60 other people, right? Blah, blah, blah. Impact is my home. And yeah, I mean, I think that's like what Impact needs, Like they need people like that who realize I don't want to get fucking buried for a few extra dollars.
And honestly, I think we're going to be seeing a heel Josh. I kind of got the feeling he wanted to like clothesline Alex Shelley after
that'd
losing.
Be great. That'd be great too. Because Shelly was not cheating, you know what I mean? So like Josh should totally be frustrated.
And I kind of feel like we're going to be touring a lot in Canada. I could honestly see a Team Canada returning. You could bring Eric Young into the fold.
Oh yeah,
you could bring,
totally.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason why.
There's so much you can do now. You can bring back things. You can redo things. You can whatever. I mean, I love it. And
and A1 is a really good ring shape looking too. So I mean, they could bring A1 back as like the enforcer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're spending money. There's a bunch of dudes. They got friggin' Is Myron Reed gonna stick around? Who knows? They announced him for the tapings. The Rascals versus Black Taurus, Laredo Kid and Juventud. They announced that match ahead of time. So yeah, that's it for now. Got to keep it under 50, or we get some errors. And I can announce. Well, yeah, this is a little bit of a match spoiler. Say it, but Will Osprey faces Josh Alexander at these tapings. That should be fucking insane.
Yeah.
And there's a title match, Alex Shelley and Jonathan Gresham, which I absolutely hate for the reason, where did he get the fucking thing from? And stop giving out these matches when people have cash-in things. You know what I mean? Like, it totally ruins the cash-in. If someone like why not just stand in the back and wait for a fucking title shot?
Yeah, that's what I don't like about what Impact does with the basically the rip off of the Money in the Bank kind of thing. What I don't like is that the talent will bring it out. They'll tell people.
That's what I mean. Oh yeah, I don't like that either. I mean, like Jordan and Jordan.
That's
mean, I get it every now and then, but it's much more fun when somebody runs down to the fucking ring and just uses it.
Yeah, and then we're gonna get 2 cash-ins at Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
That's one too many. I think one.
I agree.
And
the cash-in should be, or at least one. The cash-in should. No, sorry. Most of the time, the cash-in should be very exciting. Every now and then, you do one announced to mix it up. That's all. Well, we got 20 seconds, so go ahead.
I was just gonna say really fast that just look at the Moose versus Josh when he cashed in. How much better that was for TV. That's all I had to say.
Also, how about they pushed in Paradis? That movie we talked about.
Yeah, they had
oh man,
railing or
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
So we'll be back next week to book the future upcoming season of TNA Wrestling. And you're all welcome, I guess. And we'll see you next time.
Catch you next Monday.